Well, howdy folks, how's it going today? I hope everybody's doing really good. Well, today we're going to take a look at this Alvarez. Very pretty guitar. Sounds really nice too. This is an artist series. See if I can kind of get the tag for you. Anyway, this is kind of a tough video for me to do. This guitar belonged to my brother-in-law, my wife's brother, and we just lost him 2 days ago. Actually, Wednesday, he lost his battle to cancer. Just a really sad day for sure. Now, I've owned this guitar for a long time, like I said. He bought this brand new, and he had, high hopes of playing. And we all know how that goes. Sometimes you just never get the time to really learn how to do it. So the guitar sat around for a number of years in the closet. And eventually, to make a long story short, my brother-in-law was an avid outdoorsman. He really loved hunting and fishing and being outdoors. So he bought a boat and needed an outboard motor. And I didn't need another guitar, but we swapped out anyway, and I swapped in the motor for the guitar. So, like I said, I've had this for a number of years, but I just wanted to dig it out and make sure everything was up to par on it, and as I do with most of my guitars, you have to pull them out and look at them from time to time just to make sure everything's okay. So this one's got a small fret buzz. I think it may have a high fret. We're gonna roll down on this end of the guitar. I just noticed, whoops, sorry about that, folks. I noticed when I was playing it, I was getting, maybe it was the D string. Here we go. So I'm going to look at that fret for sure. Let's put a little mark on here so I don't miss it. And I almost thought the A was doing it too. Yeah. So that needs to get addressed as well. The string height seems okay here. They're actually pretty high. So we may make some adjustments there as well. And it does have a little bit of neck relief going on. Not a ton, not enough to do that. I think the culprit could be a high fret. So I'm just going to go down across these real quick. Again, I mean, the last time I played this guitar was not doing that, so, there's one. So we want to mark that one too. Let me check it all the way across. Yeah. Oh yeah, that's lifted. I'm just going to set down the next set here. Those don't feel too bad. Check right in by the strings always. They could be lifted on the ends. They can be humped up in the middle. Here we go. I knew it. 11th fret. Always have a fret rock there for some reason. Pretty near every guitar I do this to. I just wait for it. Of course, the 12th is, we're off the high fret, so I like to jump ahead one set. Another real high one. Yeah, that could be the culprit, really. So we'll put a mark on there. Now, it wasn't really bad out on the treble side there, but that's what I'm saying. You got to check all the way across because they can be up and down. All right. So what I like to do when I do this is where there's not a ton of them, I'm not going to take a leveling beam because I don't want to knock any more height off than I have to. So what I'll end up doing is just doing these ones individually. So if you do that, start on one end and work your way. So that way you're always rocking on even frets, okay? And because you can, try to fix one. Now this one's really high, and that can happen. You really have to kind of take your time. You can't just go in there and, like a bulldozer and just level everything off. So that's going to have to get addressed. Other than that, the guitar is in pretty decent shape. Like I said, it was pretty much unplayed when I obtained it, so he did play it a little bit, but he kept really good care of his stuff. So yeah, sad to see him gone, and this seems to be a normal thing now. I end up with people's instruments that are gone. It's different when it's just, you walk into a music store, there's a used guitar, boom. Somebody had it and somebody owned it, and there's probably a story involved or a memory. But when you don't know the person, it's really not a big deal. But when you do know the person, it's a little different. It's these things are so personal. I mean, especially if you play guitar and you've played the same one for years, you inherit a guitar from a family member or something like that. That's when that really changes the value, for sure. It's not dollar value at that point, okay? It's really just sentimental value. And, I can pull these out and play them, which I do. And, I can kind of hear what each one's voice is, which is kind of nice. And, it's a connection of some sort, at least in my mind. So, yeah, we got to fix those frets. The bridge is in pretty decent shape. It does look like it's got a little lift right there, so I might have to address that. But it should be good to go. I'm going to share one funny story with you guys about my brother-in-law. His name was Gary. My wife tells this story so much better than I'm about to, but Gary had a Volkswagen van when he was a teenager. Excuse me. And it was a paddy wagon, basically, and, teenage kids getting in a Volkswagen bus and tooling around town and having fun. And so a bunch of them were in the van, and they were drinking and doing whatever. I was told that there was actually marijuana plants sprouted in the carpet from the beer that was spilled over the years of partying in it, and they were actually growing in the back. True story. But anyways, they were drinking her up and whatnot, and some bunch of teenage kids, and they lived on a kind of a side road, and they weren't far from home, and they pulled into this abandoned lot. There used to be a house there, and there was still just a cellar there, okay, foundation with a cellar. So they pulled in and, had some fun and whatnot. And when they got ready to leave, Gary thought he was in reverse and actually drove the Volkswagen bus down into the foundation. Okay, so here it is teetering. They're not too far away from home, but they needed a ride. So the only person they knew was their neighbor, who was an adult. She still lives there to this day. And they knew she wouldn't tell on him. So they called her up. She shows up and, gets out of her vehicle. She's looking the whole scene over and said, yeah, okay, I'll give you a ride home. And about this same time, one of the other kids' parents are rolling up on the scene. So they all ran into the woods to hide, okay? So my wife said she was scooched down behind some trees hiding, and she looked over beside her, and there was the nice lady that they called to come pick him up, and she was in there hiding too. I thought that was a classic. But anyways, everybody made it out safe, and she never did tell either. I guarantee if I drove my vehicle into a basement somewhere, I could call her. She'd come get me. Just funny stuff like that, folks. He was an awful good person, and sure will miss him. Well, you folks have a great day, and I got some more videos coming up here real soon. Some more repair work and just odds and ends, basically, but should make good content, and maybe someday I'll actually sit down and play guitar again, which would be nice. I've been really just doing mostly work, so it will be nice to sit down and actually play again. I've been laxing on my practice and playing routine, so I need to get back at it. Well, thanks again, folks, for watching. We'll see you real soon. Be good. Okie doke.